Hi, hello everyone. I'm Prashant Nandam. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you all know, we have started Terraform Beginner to Advanced series, and today we will be continuing with the same session. And in our previous session, we have covered what is variables and outputs, and how to declare a variable, and how to use it in main.ef, and all those things we have covered in session 4. If you haven't watched this, I request you all to watch it in our YouTube channel. It is available in Terraform Beginner to Advanced series. This is the one. And today we will be covering state management, which is a very important topic. And we will be seeing what is Terraform state, and local versus remote state, and state locking, and the state file structure also we will see. You can go to our GitHub repo and click on session 5. You will be finding the definitions and all the other information. Go to this GitHub repo file for more information. And I have also provided the admin guide or the official links for this Terraform series, which is related to statefile and all those. These are the related information. You can click and read the document for more information. And without wasting any time, let's begin our demo. And before that, uh, most of the viewers are watching the videos but not yet subscribed. I kindly request you all to subscribe to my channel for more DevOps related content, so that it will encourage me. And today, as I mentioned, we will cover session 5. And in session 5, we will be seeing what is statefile and all those things. And if you see here, Terraform state. What is Terraform state? Terraform state is a JSON file that stores the current status of infrastructure resource managed by the Terraform. Okay, and let's say, for an example, we have created a EC2 instance in our session 3, right? In session 4, we have created an EC2 instance, right? And how do Terraform know that EC2 instance already exists? I mean, if we come back tomorrow and if you see this, if we come back tomorrow and if we try to run the same files again and all, how does the Terraform know it already exists or it already created? Hmm? This is because Terraform has a memory, just like humans remember information using a notebook or any OneNote or something, right? And similar way, Terraform remembers infrastructure using a file called Terraform TF state. If you see here for our session 4, we have a Terraform TF state, right? This is the file. This is where the resource information is remembered by Terraform. Okay. And in simple words, Terraform state file is a file that stores information about all the infrastructure managed by Terraform. Okay. And it will be naming convention is terraform.tf state. Cool. Hope you understood now. And one more thing I want to inform you is Terraform code tells Terraform what should be created. I mean, if you see main.tf, this is a code which we have written, and it will tell the Terraform what to be created. Okay. And Terraform.tf state tells the Terraform what has been created already. Cool. Hope you got it. Let me repeat it again. Terraform code, which is in main.tf or any file where you have written a code, that file or that code tells the Terraform what should be created or what should be created by that. And Terraform.tf state, after creating or after running the main.tf, the Terraform tf state file tells the Terraform what has been already created or what is already created for us. Cool. Hope you got it. Let's create a demo, short demo. Let me create a folder first. Don't want it. I want it here. Yeah. Cool. Session 5. Cool. Let me close all. Since we already discussed how to use or how to write variables.tf and all other information, for now, today, I'm not going to write all those things. I'll be just writing main.tf just to save time. I'll be using the same one. Session 5. Or else we can do one more thing. We have older videos, right? Here it's already declared variable, all those I have to give it again. This is fine. This is very simple one. Session 5. I'll write main.tf. I want only main.tf here. So I'm writing main.tf and I'm saving this file. Let me close other tabs. Cool, got it. Now, if you see here, I have provided main.tf content, which is where I am using provider as AWS and region as AP South 1. And resource, it is AWS underscore instance and demo. This is the AMI ID and instance type is t2.micro. Now, let me get into this session 5 folder. Now, let's verify. Let's run Terraform init first. Let's initialize the provider plugin. Once you run Terraform init, it will create two folders here, which is initializing the Terraform plugin. And as well AWS providers it will all use. Cool. If you see .terraform, it is showing here. Terraform has been initialized successfully. Okay, cool. Then what we have to do? Terraform plan. Okay, type error. Terraform plan. It will tell us what it is going to create. Cool. It is telling one to be added. See, AWS demo boss. This is AMI ID, and I'll be creating one file here. Now I'll run Terraform apply. Now Terraform will create an EC2 instance. Let's wait till it finishes creating. Cool. It has been completed. Let's verify it in our console. Let me go to AP South 1. Click on EC2. Friends. Cool. See, our instance has been created. Let me name it as demo. Our instance has been created and it is running. Okay, great. Still it is initializing the check state, but that is fine. It is creating, right? Can see what is the ID, which is F24E last 4 digits. F24E last 4 digits. Cool. Now, today we have written a main.tf, simple main.tf for creating an EC2 instance, and we have created it. Now, tomorrow when you run the same Terraform plan, what it happens and how does the Terraform know it already exists? No? If you see here 0 to add, it is showing no 0 to add. How come it know it is there is nothing to be added? Hmm? This is, you can ignore this. I just changed the name, so it is showing here demo. I'll explain it later. Now, how does Terraform know this EC2 instance already exists and what is its instance ID and public ID? All those information from where it is gathering. How does Terraform know? That is simply because this terraform.tf state file. Okay, let me show you clearly here. Let me clear the screen. Terraform.tf state. Is it there? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I haven't provided cat yet. See now, when I run cat terraform.tf state file, see, this is the Terraform TF state file where the Terraform comes to know the instance already created, or it stores the memory of the complete Terraform files which we are working on. Now, if you see, when I run cat terraform.tf state, it has so much information and it is a JSON format, correct? Don't panic here since it has so many syntax and all those things. Do not worry. And let me make it very simple for you. For an EC2 instance, it will what all it will store, what all we need for an EC2 instance. We need resource type, resource name, instance ID, public IP, private IP, and availability zone, and mainly AMI ID and instance type, security groups, and tags, correct? All those information can be found here. Cool. Hope you understood. Now, when I open a Terraform file, you are seeing a version 4 here. What does it mean? Is a state file format version. We have a format here, right? That format version is 4. Okay, and Terraform version is 1.14.9. Why we are using that version somewhere here? Okay, cool. We have that version details as well, and later we can see. I mean, this version is useful while you are upgrading Terraform version. And then what else we have? We will be having serial numbers as well here. And you know what does it mean? Every time Terraform updates the state file, the serial number increases. Okay, for an example, if you run first time apply, it shows 1, and if you run second time apply, it shows 2, and it keeps on changing as many times as you run apply. And we will be having unique ID here. Let me show you that as well. This one, lineage. Lineage is nothing but unique ID for the state file, or this state file. For this state file, this is the unique ID. And think of it or remember it as an Aadhaar number or post or passport number for a state file. Okay, every person has a Aadhaar number, right? In India, similarly, the state file has a unique number, and that is lineage. Cool, you got it. Now let's move a bit down. Resource. This is what where things come. I mean, what we have created. Okay, in resource, inside this section, Terraform stores every managed resources. Okay, example, if you see, type here some AWS instance and name here demo. Okay, and Terraform knows resource type and resource name here, and the attributes will be IDs. It will show some IDs. Actual AWS instance ID. You can see ARN here and AMI ID here, and public IP also it will be having. Let me scroll down. The public IPs, private IP, public IP, and region tags also it will have. Availability zone information also it will be having. Let's verify that has here itself. Yeah, if you see here availability zone AP-South-1B, this is the availability zone, and the public IP address we set it to true, so it is showing as true. So this is how we can see all the information in our Terraform TF state file, and you can just simply get the things by running commands here. If I run Terraform state list, I should get some. Why it is showing CMD gain type error? The AWS underscore instance dot demo. It will shows the resources tracking information. Okay, and Terraform is tracking this, and that is why it is showing as AWS underscore instance dot demo. And then what else we can see? You can also get complete information of this AWS underscore instance file as state, Terraform state, show, and then this thing AWS underscore the name we should enter instant.demo. Okay, again typo error. Cool. If you see here, it will display the complete information stored in state file. Instead of going complete JSON file, you can use this type of commands: Terraform state show AWS instance demo. It will be depending on the name which you provide. You see here, I have provided AWS instance and demo. That is why I'm using AWS instance dot demo, and it will give me the all information here. What all it has stored, it will display that here. And you can also simply run Terraform show. Terraform show. Terraform show will display the current infrastructure in such a way that human readable in human readable format. Okay, it will display the details in a human readable format. Instead of JSON, it will display similar to which we ran here, Terraform dot show AWS instance dot demo. You can also just simply run Terraform show. It will give all the information in a human readable language or human readable format. Cool. Now, if you see here, let's get into our GitHub. We have seen introduction. We have seen Terraform state. Now, let's see what is local versus remote state here. Local versus remote state. We have things mentioned here. Local state, which is nothing but stored on your local machine, which is terraform.tf state file. If you see here, I have it here. Let me run ls terraform.tf state file. It is a local file. Why? Because it has stored in my local computer. Cool. And remote state file, which is nothing but we will be storing the terraform.tf state file in a remote location. It might be AWS S3 bucket or Terraform cloud itself or any Azure blob storage or any other providers. Somewhere we'll be in some remote location, we'll be storing the Terraform state file that is called as remote state. Okay. Hope you got it. And the benefit of using Terraform state file in remote location, I mean remote server, is everyone will be having the same shared file, and it will be centralized, and backup is also done, and it is secure, and supports locking as well. While when I mention locking, in the sense, if you see here, we have only local state file here, right? This is the one. We have only local state file, correct? And it is stored in our local machine, correct? And the problem with this thing is, imagine you have a two developers, and developer one and developer two, and both are working in the same project, and developer one has the updated state. If you see here, initially I haven't renamed the demo, right? Here you can see. Let me show you. Just give me a moment. Let me show you two again. I'll be creating, instead of clearing, let me keep it same and run things. When I run Terraform plan, see what it says. Want to change demo, okay? Which means the local file in my mission has previous state where I haven't changed the resource name to demo. Here I have physically changed the name, right? Demo that I haven't provided in Terraform state, right? So developer A might have the Terraform state where I haven't renamed the demo, and developer 2 may have this remote state file which is after changing the name. Okay, and in that scenario what happens, one will be having older file and the other will be having updated file. And if what if someone unexpectedly or unfortunately deletes a Terraform tf state file, that will be another headache to the team, right? In such scenarios, to avoid all those things, to eliminate all those scenarios, we can use remote state. Remote state means storing the state file in a shared centralized location. It might be an S3 bucket in AWS, or as I mentioned earlier, AWS storage or Google Cloud Storage or Terraform Cloud itself. Cool. Let's see a practical demo here. I'll be clearing the screen. Let me create a new folder so that it will be easy. Demo remote state. I'll keep it as remote state. If I mention it as remote state, ls cd into remote state. Clear the screen. Ls no files under this folder. Okay. Now let's create two folders under this thing. Let's me remove this thing. I'll be going to Terraform state and creating a file name which is what name will give. Let's give it as backend.tf. It will be easy. Backend.tf, and in backend.tf what we will be mentioning Terraform, and then backend is s3. Under this what will mention bucket, value will be provided. Let's provide it as Terraform hyphen state demo hyphen state. Let's keep it as simple, no? Demo hyphen state, and then what we need bucket. Then let's mention key as dev underscore Terraform dot tf state dot tf state Terraform dot tf state, and let's keep it region as same. Region as same. We'll keep it as AP hyphen south one. AP hyphen south hyphen one. Let's save this file. Let's save this file. And now we have provided bucket name and the key. You know what key is? I mean, this is the path of the state file inside the bucket. If you have multiple environments, we'll be using dev prod test like that. No, similar way we can store separate state files as well. Now let's create a main.tf file with the same content. We'll be using same file under this main.tf. I don't think it will work because let's see, underscore test. I'll give it as test. Let's save this file and run this Terraform in it. Again, bucket Terraform. You haven't noticed that thing. Can someone guess why it is showing this way? Hmm? Because it does not has the Terraform demo state created in S3 bucket. Let's create an S3 bucket. Click on S3, click on create bucket. Let's keep it as general purpose and copy our bucket name from here. 26. Cool. At last I have provided 2026 here, so I'm writing that as well. 2026. Save this file. Cool. Now, if you see here, it is telling us successfully configured the backend S3. Terraform will automatically use this backend unless the backend configuration changes. Now, in terraform.tf state, there won't be any, uh, sorry, in remote state folder, there won't be any .tf state. Why? Because we are using backend as S3 bucket. Cool. Now, let me run this Terraform plan and Terraform apply. I'll show you. It is showing one to add. That is fine. Wonderful. Same again, AMI ID, instance type, all the information can be provided, will be provided here. And now you just need to run Terraform apply. Now, if you see, let me go back to S3 bucket and refresh this page. There, we do not have any file here yet, right? Cool. Let me provide a value as yes. Cool. Instance has been created here. Now, when I go to AWS console and refresh this page, there is a folder which is dev. Why? Because in key we have provided dev first and later terraform.tf state, which means there will be a dev folder and inside that tf state file will be there. First we'll be having bucket, then we'll be having dev folder, then we'll be having terraform tf state. Yes, we have dev folder. See, this is where the tf state file is stored. If you want, you can click open or download this manually here from here. See, all the information as we have seen for remote local TF state, which one? This one. All this similar kind of information. This is the one which we locally has, right? Let me make it very simple here. Yeah, this is where we are storing. Here, this is the file, first file which we have created. Open with Notepad. This is the first file for which demo EC2 instance is there, right? For that, it has been stored in local machine. Correct? Now we have remote state. See, we do not have a folder which is .tf state here. No .tf state. Only backend.tf state is there. Why? Because the tf state has been stored in Terraform.tf state file is stored in AWS S3 bucket. That is why we do not have any such. Cool. Let me show you the EC2 instance as well. I'll duplicate this page. I'll go back to EC2 instance. Click on EC2. You should see a EC2 instance without name. See, not have any name here, right? Now we have seen two things here. Let me, yeah. In session 5, we have seen main.tf, how to create an EC2 instance using local state file. I mean, how the Terraform.tf state file is created locally, correct? That is the first thing. Second thing, what we have done, we have created remote state folder and we have configured the backend as S3 bucket. And when we run Terraform apply, what happened? TF state file has been stored in S3 bucket. We have experienced that as well. Great, cool, wonderful. Now, what we will do, we will see how to migrate the local state file to AWS S3. Cool, hope you got it. For that, what we need to do, let me show you. Now, here we will create a new folder where I'll come back a bit back, clear the screen, py to ls and pwd. I'm in session 5. Okay, not in remote state, only in session 5 where we have local state file. Cool. Now in this local state file, what I'll do, I'll create a remote file, remote state. Remote backend.tf. Cool. Is getting created inside this file here. I already here no session 5. No file I want to create. Remote state dot tf. Cool. I have created a file here. Let me show you that. We have remote state.tf here. This one. Remote state.tf we have, correct? Now what we will do, we'll write a try to write again. Let's copy this thing and paste it here. Just to save time. Instead of test, what we'll do, we'll make it as test. Cool. I just changed it to test. Now I'll do a Terraform init again here. See, it is telling you, do you want to copy existing state to the new backend? If you enter yes, Terraform will copy the local state into S3. Prior to that, let me go to here. This is our Terraform state file. If you see here, only dev is there. I'll refresh this for you. Only dev is there, nothing else, right? Let me provide an yes value here. Successfully configure the backend S3. Terraform will automatically use the backend unless backend configuration changed. Cool. Now let me go back here and refresh this page. The test is present, and inside test terraform.tf state is present. Let me close this and open this. See, this is the same instance or the same file which has not instance. I will copy public IP because public IP will be different for each EC2 instance, right? We have two EC2 instance here. See, this is for which one? Demo one. And if I go here and .tf state, where this file, Now terraform.tf state does not contain any. Why? The file has been moved to S3 bucket. Okay, it has been completely moved. Cool. In remote state, in remote state.tf, we have configured the backend, and the now when I run terraform apply, those one to change. Let me see what it will change. Name it will change. Yes, I will provide yes. What you will think now? Does it create new instance? No. I'll go back to EC2 instance. Yeah, I'm an EC2 instance only. Let me refresh this file. There will be only two instances. It will not create the third instance. See, it hasn't created third instance. Instead, it changed the name to empty. Name demo to null. From demo to null, it is going to change. That is why it has provided the file name has been modified. So this is how we will work on. Did we left with anything? We have seen Terraform introduction, Terraform state, local versus remote. State file structure is nothing but same. I have explained, what file TF state will contain JSON format and what all it has, all those information that it is. That is called as stateful structure. And then state locking. This I haven't shown in demo. State locking is nothing but it will prevent multiple users to perform or process from modifying the state simultaneously. In simple words, state locking prevents multiple users to uh, stop or users to not to perform actions. In for an example, if you see here, user one is being let's assume we have two developers, developer one and developer two. Now developer one has run apply, and it is taking some time, and it is showing as AWS instance demo is creating all the information. Since we have Terraform state file in S3 bucket, and it is a centralized location, other developer do has access to it. So he is also developer 2 is also making some changes, and he is also running Terraform apply at the same time. When two developer runs the Terraform apply at the same time, it will not allow the users to perform action. It will tell them, boss, there is already a task is going on, so it will tell the developer 2 to wait until it finish. Avoids race conditions or corrupted state and supported by that's okay. The file lock can be done with DynamoDB lock. And for developer 2, it will just show it will not allow him to modify or run the Terraform apply until the developer 1 task finishes. Once developer 1 finishes running this creating EC2 instance, and if developer 2 performs apply, then he will also be able to run the operations in Terraform. I mean, he will be having access to TF state file. Let me delete these things. Just to, why I am using R before O. I am removing all the things. And is destroying. And don't forget to delete the instance after you doing your lab sessions. If not, it will cost you. remote shit. Huh? Uh, I will run the same command here. It will delete the instance state and everything. Yeah. Cool. That's it from my end. Hope the video was informative. I kindly request you all to subscribe to my channel for more DevOps related content and share the channel information to someone who is looking forward to learn DevOps courses or looking to get transition into DevOps. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.